But I just didn't see much from the defense that made me go, okay. And again, we understand the second-tier guys.
But they're going against second-tier guys, too.
Exactly. You know.
Yeah. So, like, the excuses can't go both. All right, let's jump over to the defensive side of the ball here. And understand, it's the twos. I get it, okay? But I didn't like what I saw on that side of the ball. They're fortunate. What's the final? Like 21-20, whatever it was.
21-20, yeah.
It felt like Cleveland should have and could have had a lot more points than they did in that game. They didn't play well, man. And I know it's not going to be the ones that are going in the game, but first drive, Derek, 8 plays, 80 yards.
Yep.
You know, boom, Dobbs, runs it in. Second and third drives could have easily been touchdowns. They ended in field goals. And then the first drive of the second half is 75 yards and a touchdown. They did not play well that side of the ball.
If Joshua Dobbs had stayed in that game for Cleveland would have won that game easily, to be quite honest with you.
Yep.
As a whole, not generating much pass rush. I mean, 2 preseason games, they still don't have a QB sack. And again, it's preseason. I get it. They still don't have a QB sack. You know, show me something. Show you know, the running lanes that Cleveland opened in the running game was like ridiculous. Poor angles to the ball. Tackling was atrocious in a lot of ways, as is across the board in the NFL. And I didn't think any of the guys really stood out in terms of stepping up and just trying to blow up plays. I thought some guys made some decent plays.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, in terms of just blowing things up, that's a good way to put it. Nobody was disruptive, right, in any way, shape, or form.
No. Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, none of those guys. I thought Nakobe Dean struggled. He was making tackles, but he was making them downfield. Jordan Davis couldn't get off blocks, you know. And, you know, he kept going in and out. Every time I was looking for him, he was out again. Then he was back in. You know, and I understand that's going to be his role.
Yeah.
And I still think it's a part of the conditioning, you know, getting him up to speed. But I just didn't see much from the defense that made me go, okay. And again, we understand the second-tier guys.
But they're going against second-tier guys, too.
Exactly. You know.
Yeah. So, like, the excuses can't go both ways. Like, I'm saying the reason I pointed out is you're probably not going to be depending on a lot of these guys was my initial point.
Right,
However, you're going against Cleveland twos. And I know you mentioned, and rightfully so, you were right on. Cleveland has really good offensive line depth like the Eagles do. So they're good with their twos. Still, even in the second half, Derek, when Cleveland had their threes in there, I didn't see a lot of guys making plays on the Eagles side of the ball.
No. And like early in the game on Cleveland's first drive, what's the kid's name? I still can't get his name right. Charture, the DB. He blitzes. He has Joshua Dobbs. Dobbs dunks under him and shakes free. That would have been a sack. He missed a sack opportunity, and that does happen. I get it.
Yeah.
But then after that, I just didn't see much of a push from the Eagles' D-line. They were getting pushed off the ball, just the way the Eagles' offensive line was pushing Cleveland's D-line off the ball. Cleveland's D-line was controlling the line of a scrimmage, and the running backs were picking up 5, 7, 8, 9 yards of carry every time they touched the ball. In that first half. So
I'm getting. I'm
saturates, pronounced saturate. Thank you, Tavern Mike. I appreciate it.
Saturate. You're right.
John Dickerson, Tavern Mike. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys. Look, I guess to an extent with the Kobe Dean and Davis, I understand they're rookies and they're playing their second preseason game ever at the NFL level. Understand.
Right.
I want to see more out of where's Davion Taylor? Where's he at?
Yeah.
This guy was a high pick, Derek. I mean, and he's giving them.
I don't know, dude.
You know, I'm not sure he can. I'm not sure he's a player, man.
Is he going to make the team? Right now, 1 week, 8 days from cut down, the final. Is he making the team?
I think he makes it.
Okay.
I think he makes it.
I don't disagree with you. I don't think they want to give up on him yet. You know, I think he has potential. He showed it occasionally, but not enough.
Yeah.
And luckily, they're in a position where you don't have to just throw him to the wolves right away. You still have time to work with him and groom with him and get him up to speed a little bit better. But I need to see more from him, considering where he was picked. I need to see more, plain and simple, And you know he's going to play in that last game against Miami.
Oh, yeah.
which I still understand why the heck they're playing on a Saturday. Why couldn't you just play the game on a Thursday or Friday like most teams can call it a week? I mean, seriously,
yeah, they're gonna practice Wednesday, Thursday is the way this week works, as opposed to Thursday, Friday, which was last week. They'll go Wednesday, Thursday in Miami, walk through Friday, play Saturday night. That's by the way, the other piece to that, Derek, is there's going to be 15 days off between that final preseason game and the first regular season. That's all. It's usually 10 days. Usually you play that Thursday and then you play the following Sunday.
Right.
That's a pretty long layoff.
Yeah, no question about it. You know, because they're playing on a Saturday night, what I'll do is I'll tape the game. Now I'll peek in occasionally. I'll tape the game, and then watch it intently on Sunday. But hey, Saturday could have a new grandson here.
You might be busy, man. Yeah,
we were thinking about. Well, obviously that may be out the window, but we were thinking about taking I tell you, my 3-year-old grandson. Everything he does is about dinosaurs. Everything we buy him, you know, at stores is dinosaur shirts and stuff. This kid, 3 years old, can pronounce dinosaur names I can't even begin to pronounce.
Yeah,
and he has 20 different dinosaur books. He can sit there and tell you what a herbivore is compared to a carnivore. So we were thinking about taking him down to the Smithsonian to see an extensive collection of dinosaurs. You know, just a surprise.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But I think that's on the shelf. If they induce my daughter in a few days,
I think that's
obviously we ain't doing that.
Yeah, you put that on hold a little bit, but he'll, that'll be a fun trip for him though. He'll love that.
But
awesome.
but because of the situation, and because it's a Saturday, and because if I'm not babysitting grandkids or visiting my new grandson, I'll be grilling something. I'm not watching that game Saturday night. I mean, I'm not giving up. I only got 2 freak weekends left. This coming weekend and next weekend before we hit the ground running with pre and post game shows every weekend. So I'm not giving up my free time just to sit there on a Saturday night, watch that game. I'll peek in periodically.
No, I hear. I'll tell you though, what I love, man, and I got to tell you, it's smart that they do this. The NFL Network, smartly on a loop, just replays games. If you missed the game Thursday, if you missed the games Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. Like I woke up, it was Saturday, it was yesterday morning, it was Sunday morning. It was probably, I don't know, 7:30, 8 o'clock. I put on, and it was a Cowboys game. I forget whatever game it was. And it was just great, man. I can get caught up on stuff if I can't watch all these games. And I'm always looking for like, all right, if this guy gets cut, is he somebody maybe the Eagles would jump or whatever? I'm always, or I like this guy in college. Does he have a chance to make it? Whatever. There's always something there that interests me. Like I know most people are like, you're watching the fourth quarter of a preseason game? Like, what are you doing? Like there's always something for me that I can dig in on.
Think about when we were younger. We didn't have at our luxury the advantage to tape games and replay them whenever you wanted, or right now watch games live and to stop a game while it's live, go back and say, let me look at that play again before I move forward. It can zip through. You don't have to watch, it doesn't take you 3.5 hours to watch a game if you don't want to. You can zip through a game now an hour and a half, because you got remote control at your fingers, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got everything you need now to watch more games, so to speak, if you want to, than you ever had before.
Yeah, it is a great thing. Now, coming out of the game, and I think this part of this is a byproduct that people just want to dig in on Jonathan Gannon. They want to just hammer him. But, I was taking some calls on the post-game show last night, and it's like, this is why I don't have faith in this guy. See, I'm not like to me, 1 and 1 doesn't equal 2. If the first team defense looks, the way that the second team defense looked yesterday, have at it. You have every right to be ticked off. I'm not losing my mind over a defense where most of these guys either aren't going to play or aren't going to be on the team. So I can't get all that worked up about what I saw yesterday.
No, and I know people, Jonathan Gannon's, I've seen comments, not just in here, but Jonathan Gannon's defense sucks. He's not doing this, not doing that.
Yeah.
He's not going to tip his hand right now. Why would you? And I said I would like to have seen at least one quarterback sack in 2 games, and it's been very vanilla for the most part.
Right.
That's okay. I'm not critiquing Jonathan Gannon until that first game against Detroit. I'm really not. I don't know what's in his bag of tricks this year compared to last year. Maybe he's holding the full arsenal because he doesn't want to show anything. Okay.
Right.
I understand that. So we have to just endure what we're watching right now until further notice.
Yeah.
Now I'm hoping what we're seeing now is not a sample of what's to come, because if that's the case, we're going to be blowing this thing up all season long in terms of what this defense should be doing compared to what they are doing.
Oh, listen, it is going to be like there's, here's the two guys. I mean, the two guys are Hurts and Gannon, who your people are waiting to pounce if it doesn't look good right away. There's no question. I mean, and look, rightfully so, because the excuses have been stripped away for both of those guys. I mean, you look at the talent that Jalen Hurts is going to have to play with, and you look at the talent that Jonathan Gannon was given, upgraded. You go Hassan Reddick, Kaiser White, James Bradbury, just to name three in terms of the vets, and you draft Jordan Davis in the first round and the Kobe Dean. So, the excuses should be out the window as far as that goes.
Absolutely. Now, I do have some concerns about Tart. He had a decent game yesterday, but my concern is this, and I'm looking for it now. Just saw Adam Schefter tweeted a little while ago.
Yeah.
Because the 49ers picked up a veteran safety. Now, you already had one in the fold. Why did you give up on Tart if you knew down the road and I don't know if it was related to injuries, but they just picked up another safety. Oh, Tashawn Gibson, who was a decent safety, at one point. So
your point is, why would they let him go to begin with?
Why would you let Tart go to begin? He wasn't killing you financially. So what was it about his game, especially in a rugged defense like the 49ers? What was it about Tart that you didn't like, that you gave up on him in the spring, but all of a sudden you went out and got another proven veteran safety to fill up on the back end?
Yeah, they might know something that other teams don't know. Yeah, when you have him up close.
If Tart is one of the guys who gets cut, then we're right back to where I don't want us to be, where you've got a deficiency in that safety position. Mm-hmm. Now, I know a lot of people like Marcus Epps. I'm a fan of Marcus Epps, but I still need to see more growth from him. Is he the guy that can hold it down for 17 games and make the necessary plays when you have to? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I know Barrett is high on him, but when I look at his game, I'm still questionable about, is he the X factor back there? He can run sideline to sideline, no question about it. But is he the overall X factor to help solidify the back end of your defense? I don't know at this point, to be honest.
Yeah, you got Kayvon Wallace, who really still hasn't shown you a ton. You got Tart. I'm talking about backups for the safety position. You got Tart. Actually, Ugo Amadi made a couple plays. The guy they traded Arcega-Whiteside for, and he can play special teams. So
I don't know much about him, but they made that move for a reason. So
he's got a real shot. Now, there are others that will tell you they really like Reed Blankenship, who was the undrafted free agent. Shashay, whatever we talked about. He's been here. So, that's going to be an interesting, battle there with those backups for that position.
Yeah. You got a bunch of hungry kids, and hungry kids are going to make mistakes early on. That's to be a given. But if you're counting on them in strategic situations, you don't want them to be you don't want that to be a liability. If an offense can identify that that's a weakness, you don't want it exposed, especially at a crucial point of the game. So it's going to be interesting to see how that whole scenario plays itself out. Right now, we're looking at Epps and Anthony Harris as your starters right now. You know how we all feel about Anthony Harris's game at this stage. At one point, he was a great player. Mm-hmm. Have not seen it, since he's been here.
Yeah, he's not the same guy at this point.
So let's see what happens. Who knows? Howie again may go out and get somebody else. When the cuts come, you don't know. What is today may not be tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I would say if I'm looking at depth on defense, what positions concern me? Safety's probably right up there of any position. I feel real good about the defensive end depth, including Taron Jackson and Barnett. I don't love, but okay, and then wherever you categorize, Brandon Graham. I feel good about that. I feel pretty good about the defensive tackle depth.
No question.
Jordan Davis, etc. Linebacker is going to be interesting too. Barrett loves Kyron Johnson.
Yep.
Barrett really likes Patrick Johnson.
I know.
I don't know if all of those guys can make it.
And again, you cannot bury them all on a practice squad. Somebody is going to be freed up.
And you only have so many spots on it too, by the way.
Yeah, I just don't want to free up somebody and he goes somewhere else and all of a sudden you hear him making a name for himself with another team, because we're all going to be sitting here saying, man, see, they should have kept this guy, but you can't keep everybody.
Yeah.
It's the nature of the beast. It's going to happen. I think this defense is going to be a top 10 defense, probably a top 5 defense against the run. I believe they're going to be that good against the run with their frontline guys, their rotation of their frontline guys. But when it comes to the passing game, I feel really good about the corners. But teams that are smart, they'll find a way to attack the middle of the field. And I hope it's not at the expense of inconsistent play from the safeties.
I will. Let me give a little love, though. We've been talking about guys who I thought Josh Jobe has done a nice job.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, like him, man.
I thought he's aggressive, quick, can run with receivers. I thought he played a great game overall yesterday. I don't like to use the word lock, but I think he has more than a 95% chance of making this roster as a backup for this team. I think he's shown enough already to make it, with this team.
And they like him too.
I like everything about his game. I love his technique. I love how he's not shy about being physical when he has to be. Good at jumping routes as well. I think this kid has a lot of potential to be a solid player in the NFL.
I'm with you. And I think he makes it. Now, you're looking at him, just to go to the corners for a minute, just to run through this quickly. We know who the starters are. We know who the first 3 are, with Slay, Bradbury, and Avante.
Yeah.
But, you get beyond that and you start looking at who these backups are. I would say Jobe's got a real good chance. I know they like Josiah Scott. I'm not saying he makes the team, but I know they like him. How many do you keep at that position too? I mean, that's another question. Zach McPherson's still there too?
Yeah. Hugo Amadi can make the team because of a dual purpose. As you just mentioned, he can play special teams. They really have to upgrade the special teams play.
Yeah.
He can play special teams as well as play the cornerback position. I mean, the safety position. He made a couple of plays yesterday, had his name called. I don't know what that means in terms of the depth for him, but he does give them a versatility being utilized, his assets being utilized. And I don't think they made that trade for him just to get rid of Whiteside. But I do believe they made that trade because they felt that here's a player that could fit in and help us in certain areas that we are deficient at right now.
Which line would you say has better depth? Offense or defense?
Oh, offense. I would say offense. Yeah. I would say offense. And it's not a knock on the defense because I think the offense has great depth also. I just think that offensive line has so many interchangeable parts in it. I like the Eagles' D tackle rotation. I think they're four solid at D tackle. I think they're DN, Sweat, Brandon Graham,
Barnett.
I'm going to bypass Barnett and say Teron Jackson. I think they're solid in a 3-man rotation. Barnett can give you something, but you don't know when he's going to give it to you because he's been so inconsistent. I'm not completely down on Barnett yet. I still think he has potential to be a solid player, but I've got to see it. He's got to get rid of the mental mistakes that he's made, throughout his career. He has the potential to be a very good edge rusher for this team. But right now, I think Teron Jackson, along with Brandon Graham and Josh Sweat, could be your 3 primaries.
What and the way this will work this week, we mentioned a little bit earlier, they go to Miami again for one of the open practices, and then they play the Dolphins on Sunday, which, you're going to see like third stringers probably and some second stringers. But by all accounts, Derek, the Eagles, again, this is subjective and its beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but the Eagles won the joint practices. Some people will debate the first day and whatever. Right. Not many people debate the second day. And apparently, Jalen Hurts looked really good. Devontae Smith looked really good.
Yep.
It feels like these guys are coming on at the right time right now. And that's encouraging, like hitting their stride as we inch closer to the regular season here.
Well, we're not surprised. We knew what they would bring to the table. So I'm not surprised in that regard. Those are not the guys that need to work. The guys that need to work are the guys who are going to fill out the roster, And I think it's a great discussion when we talk about depth at wide receiver, depth at cornerback, the safety position, because there's so many uncertainties there. You know, we all like similar players, but we all have one or two players either that we like that the other one may not like, or players that, you know, we don't like in unison. And that's why it's been great conversation up to this point, trying to figure out what the Eagles are seeing.
Yeah.
Because as we know, what we see in a controlled practice is nothing like what we're going to see in a real game. And when you got these young players, the twos playing against twos playing against threes, threes against threes, so on and so forth, this is where you have to shine. These are the limited opportunities you have to make it in the National Football League. Yeah. If you don't take take advantage of these opportunities, you have nobody to blame but yourself in that regard. Yep. So that's why I'm so excited about the prospects of what could make out this roster, so to speak. And we still have like 8 days to talk about this technically. Well, 4 more days this week and 2 days next week, because the cut is what, 4 p.m. next Tuesday?
Right. Yeah, so we're going to get a little cut down this week, and then it gets real the following week. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. After today, we have 6 more days to talk about our theories of who should and who should not be making this roster.
And we have plenty of theories, that's for sure. All right. So we come back. We will turn our sights to the Phillies. It was quite the weekend for the Phillies. Eesh. All right, coming up at 2 o'clock, back to the NFL stuff. Jordan Raynon from ESPN.com. He covers the Giants, but also follows the NFC East, the Eagles, all around football. There's a lot of stuff going on NFL-wise coming off of the weekend, so we'll do that as well. We'll get a little open talk to close it out with some quality birthdays as well, and a bunch of other stuff that we will dive into. Don't you go anywhere. Hit that like button. We got you. Derek Gunn, Rob Ellis, Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Let's talk a little Razer Technology. All right. Razer Technology's comprehensive managed service provider solutions delivers constant monitoring, on-demand assistance, and rapid issue resolution. Through data-vetted and insight-driven implementation, we strengthen your existing IT resources with both human power and expertise that reduces security risks and downtime while enhancing organizational efficiency and productivity. We are a strategic resource for adaptive and fast-growing companies that need help selecting, implementing, and managing their IT services. Our goal is to offer bigger and better, one project, one problem, one solution, or upgrade. It's improving the overall functioning of our partners and helping them achieve their business objectives through ongoing synergistic relationships. Give your IT team the freedom to refocus by augmenting their reach with Razer Technology. Contact Razer Technology today to learn how our managed services can protect and enhance your business by calling 866-797-3282, 866-797-3282, or visit us online at razor-tech.com, razor-tech.com.